shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just tryna be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
To make the AFC Championship Game.
Yeah, I think they will make the AFC Championship Game. I don't know if necessarily they're going to be the AFC representative again in the Super Bowl, because I think this year that's going to come down to look. My preseason pick was the Kansas City Chiefs, and I do believe that they're rounding into form now in totality as far as the defense really playing much better. I think the Chiefs will make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC, and they will tussle with the Baltimore Ravens, in order to get there. But I will say this. Never count out the Patriots, because if they can get a bye and they can only have to play 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, you know that that's right up their alley. You know that they will call upon their championship pedigree and the things that always travel out to at this time of year. And that is defense in the running game. And that is starting to get going with them. And Tom has heard some of the doubters. He's heard a lot of the doubters. He's heard a lot of the critics. He's heard the guy that sits in that chair right there telling him he's falling off a cliff all the time.
It's not that they doubting them. This year, this team been up and down. Even though they sitting at 12-3, but this team have been up and down. This team ain't the same. The offensive line ain't the same. The run game ain't the same. It's a lot of things with this offense. That's why the offense haven't been that good. The offense have been stagnant. They ain't been the same. Like they haven't been scoring that many points like that. They score points against teams they know they could beat. That's when they can score a lot. When they play the teams that know how to slow their offense down, they don't score that many points. They don't score that many points against teams that don't have a defense. It's just the offense hasn't been the same, but their defense, could help them get there, but it ain't about doubting them. It probably don't be their year.
He looked very good last week. The running game looks like it's starting to pick up, and the defense is always going to be there. And they play the team game. They play the long game better than anybody in the NFL. They're going to wait you out for 3.5 hours, and they're going to win the game, and you're going to wind up losing the game, because they don't lose games, so to speak. They allow you to lose games by making mistakes, because they're one of the most mentally disciplined teams in the NFL. So they're always going to be in contention. I just think this year there's just too many other high-powered teams in the AFC.
Yeah, Lewis, you're older than me, and they say with age comes wisdom. So I'm going to assume you know something I don't, because I don't know how you think the Patriots are going to find a way to beat 2 teams that they've lost to. More than likely, they're either going to have to see the Chiefs round 1, or they're going to have to see the Texans round 1. Well, let's remember, the Texans were up 28-15 with about 3 minutes left to go. The game ended 28-22. The Chiefs beat the Patriots just 3 weeks ago. To Lewis's point, I don't know if the Chiefs are rounding into form. I think they're in form. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, the last 4 games, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards, but they're still winning games.
People said the Chiefs is round to form. Y'all forget Patrick Mahomes missed some of them games. That's why y'all think they round into form. He's back. Now the team is back on pace now, because he's back at the helm. That's the only reason y'all think they round into form. The defense coming together. If the defense can keep that up in the playoffs, it will make a big difference for them. It just had to do with the Patriots' offense. That's my question. Can they offense put up points in the playoffs? Because at times they only put like 14, 17 points in some of these games. And the defense is helping win these games. When you can clearly see sometimes they have trouble on that side of the football. Defense pick up their slack. But the Chiefs, they've been in form. But the Patriots do have to play the teams they lost to. Either the Texans, Ravens, Chiefs, any one of them they run into, they already had an upper hand on them because them 3 teams beat them.
By an average margin of victory, 20 points a game. Their defense the last 4 games only allowing Charlie 7 points a game, 7.7 points a game, that is. So this just isn't the time, and you can never bet against Tom Brady. I get that. Tom Brady, the GOAT, Bill Belichick, the mastermind of all masterminds. But with the Chiefs playing as good as they are right now, with the Texans team who's no longer scared of the Patriots because they've already beat the Patriots, led by Deshaun Watson, who's the gutsiest quarterback probably in the National Football League, I just can't sit here and say the Patriots are going to make it because the Patriots have always made it.
But the Patriots in the postseason are different than the Patriots in the regular season. History has shown us that.
Look, we know that pressure actually is a real tangible thing once you get to this time of year.
True.
And I don't care what the Texans have done to the Patriots in the regular season this year. Don't matter to me. When they get into this arena, this is a whole different thing. And if you played in the playoffs, I can just tell you this. It really is a real tangible difference as far as the intensity of the game. Guys who you've played against before in the past, you're like, I don't remember you being that fast. I don't remember you being that strong.
What's going on here?
You know what? You're playing for money. You're playing for pride. You're playing for a lot of things that really can kind of like
you say, the playoff is a different atmosphere. It is different. But sometimes you're going to have to count him out sometimes. Whether he went to a roadblock and when his team is like eliminate the Patriots, and then what you would say. Then you're going to eat your words. Because if Baltimore had home field advantage throughout, they got to travel to them. They already know what happened to them in the regular season against them. The defense couldn't stop their offense. It's all about, can the Patriots keep pace with other teams' offense? That's all. Don't get me wrong, Tom Brady always figured out a way at this time to be clutch. He figured out a way, but you got to wait and see.
Enhance your legacy and how people look at you. And the Patriots know that better than anyone. So that's why at this time of year, forget all the weaknesses you think that you know about the Patriots. They're going to be a tough out. And look, I mean, this is a championship organization. Don't ever count them out. I just think there's too many other teams right now that are younger, that maybe be even hungrier, and really just have better personnel that ultimately is going to win out.
You can't count the Patriots out, obviously, as long as number 12 is back there and as long as Belichick is in his cutoff hoodie with the hood on the sidelines. You can't count the Patriots out. But what you can do is look at the facts. You can look at the numbers. Charlie, the last two games, the Patriots' leading receiver is a running back. Their leading receiver, the receiver whose sole possession is to be on the field to catch the ball, the guy who does that best is a guy whose job description is to run the ball. So as long as Julian Edelman isn't healthy, as long as they still have some pieces banged up, I just don't know that you can count on that maligned Patriots team. Don't take this the wrong way as far as me ever, being negative on a guy like John Harbaugh or Andy Reid as far as coaches are concerned, because those two guys I know personally and who I believe are two of the great coaches that this game has ever seen. But what have we said makes the difference at this time of year? Why are we giving the Philadelphia Eagles the benefit of the doubt over the Cowboys? Although many people would say, well, that's not a high bar, as far as trying to beat the Dallas Cowboys and their coaching staff. But Bill Belichick is maybe the greatest coach of all time. Period. Don't really need to say anything more. And that can be the difference, and oftentimes has been the difference at this time. But can Belichick catch a pass? Can Belichick run? Because that's right now what the Patriots are desperately longing for, is somebody who can go over the middle and catch it. N'Keal Harry, they need him to show up. Edelman, dealing with the knee, dealing with the shoulder. The Patriots, their issue has never been coaching. Their issue hasn't been the defense, because to me, their defense is lights out. Best defense in the National Football League. But playing defensively in the National Football League, here's what we do know, Lewis. Eventually you break. Right? It's like you bend, but eventually you hear that punt team alert. But you know what? A little too fast. That's exactly why they need to go ahead and get a first-round bye and only have to play 2 games. So they don't have to call upon that kind of performance too many times. If you say we only have to do it twice to get to the Super Bowl as opposed to 3 times, that's much different. And I think they have enough in them to go ahead and get that done. Possibly. Although, again, like I'm saying, I'm not going to back off on my Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl. Well, not my Chiefs.
It's all about, can the offensive line protect Tom Brady? Because he got hit a lot this season. If they can't protect him around this time in the playoffs, it's going to be a long playoff game for them. That's the issue they having this year, is protecting him. If you could get to Tom Brady in the playoff game, it would be a big difference, because their offensive line is their weakness this year.
But I think they'll be the AFC representative.
Well, a debate that a lot of people are having is who would the Ravens rather face? Would it be the Chiefs or the Patriots?
To me, it's easy. Ravens much rather face the Patriots because the Chiefs right now, they're hot. Lewis, you know this. When you start to get to the playoffs, it's not who's the better team over the 16 weeks of the season or 17 weeks of the season you have a bye. It's who is the better team at that time. And right now, I think the Chiefs might actually be the best team in football right now. Again, the only game the Chiefs have lost since Mahomes came back was the first game he came back in which he threw for 3 touchdown passes, in which he threw for plus 300 yards. So the Chiefs is not a team you want to...
Because their offense is what you don't want to see. Because that offense could take them a long way. All they need is their defense could keep this up what they was doing the last part of this season. Keep that momentum going in the playoffs. It's their offense. Only he said it wasn't see the Patriots because their offense ain't the same like the Chiefs. That's why.
Hey, what's been the Chiefs' weakness the last 2 years? Their defense. Well, the last 4 games, their defense is probably the best in the National Football League. That's not a team that the Ravens want to see.
Yeah, look, they're playing real good situational defense, in particular in the red zone, where they are a top 5 team in that area. The addition of Terrell Suggs is going to be huge for them. Why? Because I've already been told down there he's having a tangible effect on the young players who are looking at him as a guy who is a tone setter as far as just being a pro. People look at a guy who's played in the NFL for 17 years as a pass rusher, and they go, we want to have a little bit of what you've had as far as that longevity. Show us the way. And that is something that is raising the performance of everyone down there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis.
But a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.